When you look at the amazing runs on some of the assets, some of the stocks, like the Zoom 2020, gaining 400% the next day after the reported earnings. That was back in May or June 2020. That was amazing, right? Just to be invested in a stock, and then the very next day, it multiplies your capital by 4. So the question is how to spot, how to identify, how to get in some of those stocks even prior to the run into the major gains happening. This is exactly what I'm going to discuss in this video. So we have to look at this from two main perspectives. The first one is the fundamental side of things. All right. So if there is any news, if there is anything, if there is any major change happening or event happening that's going to change the course of a company, because either it's going to bring major amount of sales, it's going to increase the customer base, it's going to give them a real competitive advantage. Definitely you want to look for companies which are trading where news around the fundamental side of the business. Let's say, for example, Tesla has, or NIO has, double the amount of cars they delivered on a monthly basis or a quarter basis. It means the market was not expecting so much deliveries, because double deliveries means pretty much double the margin profits, means double the amount of money. But more importantly, it means the company is doing something really great at making sure there is growth. And growth means not only you're gonna get a decent amount of increase in appreciation of your capital. So if you put in $1,000 last year, this year you may have, that $1,000 could have been now worth 2,000. All right, that's 100% gain. And then if the company continue to prove quarter after quarter, of year after year, that there is still that growth potential, it means your money has much more upsides to go, and that will attract so many other buyers, hence pushing the price stock higher and higher. So you want to look for such events in the fundamental side of things happening for the company. But now on the technical side of things, all right, you can actually look at those from an earnings perspective, or by just looking at a chart, the short squeeze strategy, for example. If you look at the short interest of any stock higher than 15% or 20% or 25%, last time with AMC and GameStop last year, this was exceedingly high. And so, currently for AMC, we are looking at 21+%, and this is already insanely high because the average is around 5%. All right, so you can also look at such technicals. You can look at the chart, and the chart can give you a reversal signal, because the RSI, for example, the relative strength index, is very, very high or low, meaning it's either overbought or either oversold, because a stock cannot go higher and higher and higher indefinitely, even though it's a very good company. Look at Tesla. Tesla at a point was trading at 900, and then boom, when they were all down to the 500s before stabilizing around the 700 where it is now. All right. Same thing for Amazon, same thing for Google, same thing for all of your favorite stock, AMC included. It went to 72 and came back down, to the 29s, and now it's stabilizing around the 30, the mid or high 30s. So the way the chart or the technical works, all right, anytime a stock soars, go way higher or goes to the moon, it means people saw in it a buying potential and they got in, and that's why it's soaring. But at the time, it will come to a point where it's gonna get oversold, meaning you're gonna have so many people believing or betting that the stock is way high for the current run, and it needs to either cool back down a little bit or go back down, because short sellers are going to actually get into the play and push it down. But at some point, it's going to also get to another oversold, if that reaches the case, because other players are going to feel like, man, at this point, this is a deal for me to get this stock at this price. All right. And that means people are going to get in again and push the share price higher. So you always have those cycles, and there is no very miraculous or magical, strategy here to identify the next runners, but you can look at the volume, and it also depends on your strategy. If you want to day trade, swing trade, or invest, because I can consider a swing trade a 6 months investment in swing trade, or a 2 years investment in swing trade. Why? Because I'm looking at something specific to happen before I get in or before I get out. All right. So if you are a day trader, or you want to day trade, meaning you buy now and you sell before the end of the day, of the closing bell today, man, you have to look at the volume, because the volume is one of the most important indicator of a runner, especially when you look at the pre-market session. Also look at something that can potentially, back the technical coming from the fundamental. If we have, for example, in the pharmaceutical industry, any type of news moving around a new discovery or a major advancement in a study. For example, I'm going to share with you Vaxart. Okay, this is ticker symbol VXRT. Here it is. It was trading last Thursday or Friday, and it had a significant amount of gain. Boom. All right. We had 5% at the close, but intraday, I believe it went higher just because we had a news here from the company saying that there are now a university-led study published that the company's investigational oral tablet vaccine reduced the airborne transmission of SARS-CoV-2 virus in an animal model. And this means there is a lot more results, positive results on this oral tablet they are working on compared to an injectable flu vaccine, for example, for any respiratory disease. So also included COVID. So in such news, the stock is just going to boom. All right. And be careful if you trade pharmaceuticals, for example, because this is really a high volatile sector. But it gives you an example of what I'm talking about when it comes to the news, the volume, especially when you want to day trade. Now, if you want to swing trade, lose most importantly for the technicals, the RSI, the volume on a specific day, but also the news also coming and impacting either the sector, the whole industry, or the company specifically. So I'm going to get into much more details of this as we get into some of the plays that we see, confirming what I'm explaining or sharing with you here, guys, just to keep this video short. But let me know in the comment section if you have any other type of indicators you're actually looking when you want to identify some like 100%, 200%, 50% gain on a daily or on a swing trade basis.